Hi, everybody. Long time no see. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to my channel. Oshi Reads. This is Oshalay. And yeah, thanks for joining me on my quarantine and chill. Let me just make sure that my everything's outputting on YouTube.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, it sure is. Okay. Oh, okay, good. I just had to make sure. I was having some tech difficulties. I couldn't find my laptop charger. It was a whole thing. Anyways, I'm just going to say hey really quick. If you are here, definitely say hello. Let me see. It's been a interesting past couple weeks, hasn't it? For all of us. It's definitely been interesting. It's weird because I've actually been off work. Off work, huh? Sounds so much more pleasant than what it actually is. But my job has been closed it was a week on Thursday. So I have spent the past a little over a week now adjusting to this new reality. And at my job, the position I have, I can't really work from home. So it's a sales customer service position. So I've just kind of been off. I applied for unemployment on Sunday, last Sunday, not today, and just waiting for that to get approved. So mentally, it's been a lot. It's been a lot mentally. It's been kind of like I'm trying to find words for it because I definitely have anxiety, but I also have peace at the same time. And I have this underlying gut feeling that everything's going to be okay. So I'm not panicking, but I do have anxiety and I obviously worry. And yeah, it's a mix of emotions, right? It's a mix of emotions because I feel that a lot of my emotions are spent just feeling really horrible for those who have been affected at this point. And my heart going out to people who've lost their lives in this pandemic and family members who've lost their loved ones. Like, that's just horrific. It's nothing that you ever think would happen, right? You can never prepare yourself for something like this. So let's see. Anyone in the chat? Not yet? But yeah, I just wanted to do this live just to kind of connect with y'all, see if anyone wants to hang out for a little while. I'm not going to be on here too long because I do need to make my dinner. So I don't want to stay on here too long. But what have you guys been up to this week? For the past week, let's see, the first couple days I did nothing but read. And I've actually vlogged the past week, so I would try to edit that and get that up for you guys fairly soon. But the past week I did nothing but read, I think, for about 72 hours. So for the past 3 days, the first 3 days, I read nonstop. And I think I was just looking to escape. It was just so much all at once, like my job. It was so, like, we closed and we really got no warning. We kind of knew it was coming, but it was kind of like we got less than a 24-hour notice. So there was that and dealing with all of that. And then that was it. Like the next day, it was just like, this is your new life. Hey, Z Loves Books. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, it was like, this is your new life. Adjust. So I think I was just trying to escape into a fictional world for a little while. And I was reading a lot of bully romances. If you know, you know. That's all I'll say. I'm going to make a formal video about it, so I won't go too much about it. Hey, Kamara. Yes, girl, that's all we can do. I haven't gotten to that point of actually being productive yet. It's weird. It's like, okay, it's a psychological thing, I think, in a way. Um, we are so used to working in this country. We are conditioned to work, and we're conditioned to hustle, 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 work, work, work. Like, so many of us work more hours than is really healthy or good for us. There's not really a work-life balance in like the American ideals. So it feels, does anyone else feel guilty that we're not working? It's like this weird feeling. It's almost like that feeling you get when you feel like you're forgetting something, you're forgetting to do something. Like when you leave the house and you just have this nagging feeling like you forgot to turn off the stove or something, or like you forgot to do something. That's how I feel about not working. It's like this weird guilt slash just strangeness of like, okay, well, what do I do now? Like with all my free time, even though there's lots I could do. Yeah, it's hard to put it into words, but it's this strange underlying like tension slash guilt slash anxiety of like, I should be doing something. I'm not doing it. I don't know if I feel okay about this, even though I have no control of this. It's out of my control. And then you have the financial aspect. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with emotionally. So I did nothing but read the first 3 days. And then after that, I cleaned my home from like top to bottom, which is another thing that I do to avoid anxiety. It's just clean, 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 clean. Organizing, just trying to like control. It's that way of like you try to control what you can't control, which is your environment. I cannot control what's going on in the world with this virus. I cannot control the government. I cannot control the decisions made by the governments and the choices. So what I can control is my home and my environment and my immediate space. So it's like clean, clean, organized. Let's see. Let's see. Ash is here. Hi, Ash the Rebel. Thanks for joining us. Oh, thank you for the comment on my hair. I actually feel like it looks bad right now, but thank you, because I've just gotten to a place where I don't care. Hey, and Jerry, Onyx Pages is here. I'm glad I'm giving you something to watch while you're folding laundry. It's been so much emotionally to unpack what's been going on that I honestly felt at times that I was in another reality. Like I was like, this can't be real life. Like we're in another dimension. We have escaped into the beginning of one of our books that we love, right? Like one of our post-apocalyptic, pre-apocalyptic, dystopian, whatever you want to call it, books, science fiction. Like it feels unreal. It does not feel like real life. Ash says, hello. Yep, I noticed I sleep a lot more. I guess I've been sleep deprived for a year now. That's the thing. It's like when everything stops, you start to realize some things really, really quickly. Like for me, I realized I was dehydrated because now that I'm not go, 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 and I do my best to drink water, but I just realized I was always thirsty, you know? Let's see. Kamara says, I think it's good people are taking a break and resting. I agree. We're overworked in this culture. We don't value rest and self-care. We really don't, to the point where a lot of us have been out of work for like a week or two now, and some of us are about to go into out of work, and it just feels strange. It's like you almost don't know what to do with yourself. You're just twiddling your thumbs, staring at the walls like, is this okay? Is this allowed? And it's like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's out of your control. Let's see. Z Loves Book says, I'm trying to muster up the energy and drive to read. You know, and I said this in my vlog today because I am vlogging this experience. And again, I'll try to get those vlogs up for y'all, so you'll have something to watch. I think we need to give ourselves permission to feel how we feel and to express ourselves in this crucial and strange time, however we need to express ourselves. So if you don't feel like reading, you don't have to. For us creatives and artists, if you don't feel like creating art or writing or whatever art that you make, you don't feel like doing it, and it's not something you can bring yourself to do right away, it's fine. If all you want to do is sleep or, watch TV, Netflix, binge, hang out with your family, then that's okay. It's kind of like this weird period where we're all getting a wake-up call and we're all reorganizing our priorities and just realizing what matters to us, what we've been missing, like sleep or water. Um, there's this shift going on in the world, and everything is kind of resetting. Like, I remember reading the articles about how, because of the lack of traffic with everyone being on, what do you call it, shelter in place, like the canals in Venice are actually clear for once, and they don't have all this pollution in them, and people can actually see the fish. And the air quality in a lot of these countries, like China, which is, they're slowly coming out of their quarantine period, their air quality is so much better. There's less pollution. So Mother Nature is resetting itself, and is kind of reclaiming, sorry, my puppies, reclaiming their space, right? Resetting. Um, it's kind of really profound when you think about it. It's just like energy shift that's happening all around the world, and things are being reset. I think a lot of people are going to come out of this experience awakened in a way. I know we make a lot of jokes about being woke, but I think it's true. Just like something like this forces you to re-examine your life, your choices, re-examine your priorities, the things that you've been doing with your life. Is it really what you want to do? Your career, is it really what you want to do? The amount of time that you're spending working, is it really what you want to do? I think people are going to re-examine a lot of things, especially a lot of y'all who are parents are spending time with your kids now, time that you never really, well, some of y'all never really had to spend with them before. That can make you kind of recognize what's truly important, what really matters. Um, so obviously, I'm talking about all of the silver linings and the good things that are going to come out of this situation. I feel like we focus so much on the negative at times that I'm trying to shift away from that as much as I can, because we are being affected negatively and there's nothing that we can do. And so I'm trying to give that less of my energy and less of my focus, and trying to recenter around the silver linings and the positives, just for my own mental health and my own productivity level, just to make sure that I can utilize this time the best way for me. That's just my little, like, after coming out of this week, like I said, I've been out of work for a week, as of this past Thursday. Those are the realizations that I've kind of come to. And another realization I've come to is to limit my social media, because social media for me, especially Instagram, used to be an escape, especially Bookstagram, right? It's like you go on there to just escape the day-to-day usual worries and troubles of life. But there's no escaping this pandemic. We're all affected and we've all been consumed, and you know we're all, it's like this virus moves so quickly that I find myself updating my news feed constantly. I find myself checking YouTube news, CNN, MSNBC, um, all the new, I was going to say Fox, but let me not lie. Try to avoid Fox as much as possible. But just refreshing my screen, like just trying to get the latest updates and stay plugged in and know what's going on. And I noticed that it started to take a negative toll on my mental health. Like, for example, Instagram, Bookstagram, this place where I used to go to look at beautiful books and see like what my favorite authors are up to, what they're working on, what they're posting, get a little bit of their like personal lives, what my favorite Bookstagrammers are posting, their spreads, and just see what's going on in the book world. Or even just like, I follow a lot of fashion bloggers, makeup bloggers, and lifestyle bloggers on Instagram. And I used to love to go on there to look and get inspired and like different things, just to escape, just for a little while, just a little bit, because I have limited my social media this year quite a bit, but just like a little bit, just to get that inspiration, just to get that escape. And now when I go on there, I'm just inundated with everything that's already going on. I go on YouTube and I keep watching news clips. And so I just noticed this past week that it was affecting my mental health in a negative way. It's actually making me more anxious, more worried, more scared. It was sending me into a spiral. And so I think going into this new week, I'm going to be extremely limiting my news media consumption and my social media consumption. With news media, I think I'm just going to check it in the morning, see where we're at, and leave it alone for the rest of the day. YouTube, it's so easy to go down the rabbit hole on YouTube, and you're just like, how did I get here? Oh gosh. I don't know how you guys are dealing with the social media and the news media. How is that going for y'all? Let me see. I see like the chat is way more active on YouTube. It's not updating itself fast enough on StreamYard. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Trying to get them both to sync. Another realization I had, let's see, I had like the work realization, the social media, news media realization. Oh, the importance of having a schedule. I never realized how important it was to have a schedule until this incident, until this pandemic. I thrive off of routine and thrive off of schedules. And now I know that more than ever before. So this past week, I didn't really have a schedule. It was just like I woke up and I was just kind of like, well, let's see what we're going to do today. I'm not sure. I get my breakfast, I get my laptop, thinking I'm going to do some work like writing and working on my blog, like personal work. Or right now I'm actually working on, I'm a freelance editor as well. And right now I'm working on editing someone's manuscript. So I just found that time was getting away from me. Before I knew it, it would be like 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and like hadn't really tangibly accomplished anything that day that I had set out to accomplish, right? And I'm starting to realize that I really thrive on routines. When you go to work, it forces you into a routine. You wake up at a certain time, you get ready for work. Maybe you go to the gym before work, maybe you eat breakfast before work, maybe you do a workout in your home before you leave for work, whatever your morning routine is, right? And then you have your work day. And within your work day, there's a set of routines and things that you have to get done within that day, depending on your job and what your job entails. Then when you get off work, you have a nighttime evening routine that you fall into of your after work hours and what you do after work, whether it's relaxing, unwinding, whether it's meeting up with friends for a drink or dinner. I remember those days. Whether it's, coming home and just, sitting in front of the TV and watching a movie with your partner, playing with your kids, helping them with homework. There is a nighttime routine after work. There is a routine throughout the day. There is a schedule. And with this, there's no schedule, especially for me. I'm single. I don't have any children. I just have 2 dog children. And so my routine has been completely thrown off. And for the past week, I've kind of just been drifting. But I think going into this new week, I'm 100% setting a routine for myself. I've already decided I wake up pretty much anywhere between 5 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. every morning, depending on what time I went to sleep the night before. So I'm pretty much going to follow my work routine. Oh my God, this is so crazy. I'm going to follow my work routine for the most part. So it's like, get up, prepare for the day, right? Take your shower for those that shower in the morning. If you eat breakfast, eat breakfast. I'm not a breakfast person, but I do like to have my coffee, at least 2 cups. And then I walk the dogs, feed them, and then I would usually go to work. And some days I would go to the gym even before any of this. Well, the gyms are closed. And luckily I canceled my gym membership like a week before because my my apartment complex has a gym. But now that gym is closed to prevent, the spreading of the virus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wake up in the morning. I'm going to do my morning routine. I'm going to get my workout in. Then I'm going to set work hours for myself as if I were going to work. But since I'm at home, whatever that work may be. I've been wanting to reorganize my closet for forever. I've been wanting to redo my office space for forever. There's that manuscript I told y'all I'm editing. There's some writing I would like to get done. I would like to get back into blogging more regularly. So I do have things I want to do, and I guess we have nothing but time now. We have nothing but time. So those will be like my work hours, like the 8-hour workday. I'm going to accomplish that 8 hours during the day. And then I'm going to have my after work routine, and that can be like my Netflix time or Hulu or Disney Plus, or, maybe reading or whatever. It's not set in stone. The schedule is not set in stone. But I'm going to try to do this next week with a schedule and see if that goes better than this last week with no schedule. I'll keep y'all posted. And again, I am vlogging this whole crazy experience, so y'all will see at some point up on my channel. Hi, Terrell. How are you doing? Yes, we are all in it together. That's like the most positive thing I would say, more than anything else that's come out of this experience, is we're all coming together as humanity, as a people, as a world. The level of compassion and care and self-sacrifice and just giving and empathy, kindness that I've seen in the past month has truly restored my faith in humanity. It's so interesting because the job that I have, the industry that I work in, I work with a lot of medical professionals, nurses in particular. And I've always had, especially since having my job, a high level of respect for nurses. But now my respect has truly just surpassed anything I could possibly have imagined. And obviously, this respect extends to other medical professionals like doctors and CNAs and nurse practitioners and everyone who works in the hospitals, from the janitors to the receptionists, everyone who makes and helps a hospital run. You have my undying respect. But I have so much more appreciation and gratitude for medical professionals than I've ever had before. And it's truly humbling to see nurses that I know going to the hotspots and not volunteering, but I guess in a way volunteering to go to the hotspots, but taking assignments and going there to help out in hospitals like the ones in New York that are completely overwhelmed and overrun. And since my job's closed, I know quite a few nurses that have decided to go help and to go to these epicenters of, where the virus is really, really, really overwhelming the hospitals, and they're going there to help, and they're taking that leap, and they're putting their health and their safety on the line, because when you are a nurse or a doctor, that's the oath you take to help. Oh, so inspiring, and truly has me in awe. I have so much respect, and not just for nurses and medical professionals and doctors and hospital workers. I have so much respect for the people in the grocery store who are putting their lives at risk to stay open so we can go get our groceries, and all these other essential workers in these industries that are risking their health, essentially, their lives, so that we can get the things that we need. Mad respect to all of you. Mad respect. Ash says, I need to reconnect with old people. My social life has been down the drain, but I guess I'm not the only one. Yeah, I mean, I'm an introvert by nature, so I cannot imagine being an extrovert during this pandemic. Y'all extroverts are probably climbing the walls, and I feel for you. My heart goes out to y'all, but I'm an introvert by nature, so I am a homebody. I do enjoy being at home. I love my house. I love like the peace that I find here. I love how it's been decorated and how I've, put everything together to just make it my own little oasis from the world. So being in the house doesn't bother me. And I have been staying in touch with my friends via FaceTimes and Skypes. And we've all been like chatting with one another and keeping each other encouraged. We touch base at least once a day or once every 2 days or so and just keep each other's spirits lifted. My best friend in the world lives in New York. Luckily, she lives outside the city. So I try to talk to her at least, if not every day, every other day. If nothing more, to just see my godson because he's like 4 months now. He's 4 months old. He's so, so, so precious. So I try to connect with her as often as I can. My other friends that live around me, we stay in touch, and we've been doing these group FaceTimes just to keep each other sane. And we've been doing group activities too. Like we all were watching the same stuff on Netflix. Like first we all watched the Tiger King documentary. Has anyone seen this mess? The Tiger King documentary is a hot mess. Oh my goodness. I only made it to episode 4. My 2 other good friends finished it. Don't know how they did. I was like, I'm going to get off the crazy train right now. We also have been watching this other show called The Circle on Netflix together. So that's like our social stuff. Like we watch the same shows so we can chat about it on like FaceTime and group FaceTimes. And me and one of my best friends, we have like breakfast together over FaceTime and just like talk about our plans for the day, which is laughable because it's like staying inside, trying not to go crazy. Or we'll have like lunch together or dinner. I think we're gonna try this next week to do like a wine and cheese night. So we're each gonna have like wine and cheese and meet up on FaceTime and chat. So those have been really good. My parents are older, not like a ton older. Talking about your comment about reconnecting with old people. My parents aren't like older, but they are older. And I've been talking to my mom every day. My dad is so sweet. He calls me every single day and he's so encouraging. Like when my job closed, he was like, everything's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. He was like, if you need anything, let me know. My parents are both teachers. My mom teaches in, and Jerry, you watched Love is Blind? So, 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 so good. I kind of wished I had saved Love is Blind for this time, but I watched Love is Blind like right before everything just exploded. What is the Tiger King about? Okay, I will tell you in a second. Let me finish my thought. But what was I going to say? Oh, my parents are both teachers. My mom teaches in the public school system. She's a high school history teacher. So her school was like public schools was like one of the first things to close, right? And then my dad is a professor at a historical Black college or university, HBCU, HBCU. And I always get those initials wrong. But he teaches at Central University, and they obviously closed because universities, public schools and private schools were one of the first closings, right? So he calls me daily just to keep me encouraged, lets me know everything's going to be okay. My parents are so cute. But obviously I've been encouraging them to stay indoors as much as possible and avoid social interactions, which they have been doing well with. Let's see. Backtracking here. The Tiger King, honestly, and Jerry, it's so hard to explain the insanity. I remember stumbling upon it because it was trending. Like Netflix does this thing now where it tells you like what shows are trending. And out of curiosity, the Tiger King was trending. So I was like, So I clicked on it, and essentially it's a documentary about this man who essentially had his own zoo with tigers, and he was breeding them, and it was a lot. And he had amassed this kind of cult following with his workers and the people who had kind of stumbled their way onto his ranch or compound, zoo, whatever you want to call it. And the biggest conflict in the documentary was between him and this woman who ran a tiger sanctuary, and she felt that what he was doing was wrong and morally wrong, and she had suspicions that he was abusing his cats and killing the ones that were no longer useful to him. There's so much more going on in this documentary, though. For example, the Tiger King himself had like 2 husbands, 3 husbands at one time. I mean, there was one of the zookeepers who got their arm chewed off by one of the tigers. Then you had the woman who was running the tiger rescue, who was his biggest opponent and she was basically trying to get him shut down. There was a mystery behind her husband dying, and people said she killed her husband. I mean, there is literally no one to root for in this documentary. They're all crazy and psychotic. It's so entertaining and fascinating and horrifying. There's so many subplots. There's so many things going on, from like, having a zoo where you're exploiting these big cats and breeding them and exterminating them when they're of no more use to you. There's a psychological study with him because he's definitely some type of sociopath or psychopath going on. There's that whole cult of personality where he got all these people to literally buy into what he was doing and follow him blindly and have this like blind, obsessive love, and it was creepy. There's drug use involved, so much. You should watch it if you're curious. It's definitely entertaining. It would definitely get you thinking. It's also a shit show. And I stopped after episode 4. But my friends filled me in on what happened. I won't be finishing it, but it was crazy. Let's see. Terrell says, how do you feel about major events getting canceled due to this ongoing crisis? And do you think there could be something left to fill the void? I definitely think it's really sad to have these major events canceled. I mean, the sports season was basically canceled for like the NBA and college basketball, and huge gatherings. I mean, wasn't Coachella? Coachella was canceled, and these other music festivals. And then you just have simple things, just like not being able to go to the movies, not being able to go to parks, and I'm sure family reunions had to be canceled. My heart goes out to all the people that had to cancel their weddings and won't be getting their money back for all their deposits and everything, and now they're in the hole. Or people had destination weddings and now they can't go, or and they're trying to figure that out. So all of these life events, these huge life events that we have, all of these things that we do to bring us closer to one another and to indulge in our hobbies and the things that we love, it's really unfortunate that they're getting canceled or have been canceled. And I do know that there are a few things that will be going on. For example, some wonderful fellow booktubers and I are doing something this next week, and we're calling it Quarantined Pages. Definitely go check out my Instagram because I have posted about it on my Instagram for all the details and for all the people that will be involved. But essentially, my friend's FaceTiming me. But essentially what we're doing is we will be holding 1 hour of silent reading every single day next week, so Monday through Sunday. And each one of us will be hosting a different day, and we've chosen a time each day. And it's 1 hour. It will be over Zoom. You can come join us and we can all read. And it's all about reading apart, but we're together. And we're all in this together, and we can all come together and do the thing that we love to do, which is read, and we can do it with one another and just know that we're there with each other, even if we're not physically there, we're mentally, psychically, emotionally there with one another. So I'm really excited for this. My day is Thursday, and I've chosen 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll definitely post a more formal video probably later this evening or even early tomorrow morning announcing it. Be very quick, but with all the details. But if you want to get the details right now, you can go check out my Instagram. I've posted on it on both my personal Instagram and my Bookstagram account, which I always link in the description of my videos. and you'll find all the information, and you'll see all the other amazing booktubers that will be involved. Thank you so much, Jerry, for putting this together. Yes, Onyx Pages and Jerry, she kind of put this together. Some other people involved. I'm going to pull up everything because I know some people off the top of my head, and then I don't want to get it. Noria from Noria Reads, Jessie. Oh, Jesse's going to be involved as well from Bow Ties and Books. Let me pull up my little, so I can give you guys all the deets. Here we go. Ooh. Sorry. I have so many pictures. Yeah, so Jessie from Bow Ties and Books as well is going to be involved. We also have Adriana from Perpetual Pages. Love them. We have Sajid from Bookstore My Social Life. Love him. I already said Noria. And Brittany, my girl, Melanin Eclectic, of course. She's involved as well. So, you know, I'm super excited about that. So that's one social thing that we have going on. Also, there's another amazing thing going on. There's a social distancing book festival, I want to say. I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but I know Bethany announced it on her channel. I might link that video down below if you guys want to go check that out. Let me pull up her video so that I can get the proper, yeah, Beautifully Bookish Bethany. I love her and I love her channel. But her and a bunch of other booktubers have gotten together, and they're going to be holding a social distance book fest. I am so excited about this, y'all, because essentially, I didn't mean to play her video. I'm just trying to get the details. So essentially, all of these events have been canceled because of what's going on. So we have, you know, author meet and greets that have been canceled. Oh, my heart goes out to all like the debut authors who are having to cancel like their meet and greets and their book signings to promote their books and all of their book appearances because of this. So unfortunate. And oh, my heart goes out to them. But anyways, so we have the Social Distance Book Fest, and it's arriving digitally on April 25th. So this is the information I have. Basically, she says, stuck at home, sad about canceled book festivals and author events, we've got you covered. Announcing the Social Distance Book Fest coming April 25th, I and a team of incredible people are hard at work to bring you panels, giveaways, and more. We are very excited about how this is coming together, so save the date and stay tuned for more info. So, yeah, that's awesome. I'm super excited about that. Let's see. You know what's interesting about the whole staying inside thing? I've noticed where I live and in my state, we have over 1,000 cases of today of COVID-19. I've noticed that people aren't really taking it very seriously. Like in my apartment complex, I go out fairly often because I have to walk my dogs. And I'll notice that if someone else in my apartment complex is outside and they're walking towards me, I'm kind of like, okay, like, are you going to stop? Because I'm stopping because you're walking towards me and we need to stay at least 6 feet apart. Like, what's going on here? What's going on? So I noticed that more than, you know, anyone else, I, and my roommate does it too, will like remove myself from the path and go all the way around and kind of social distance myself from this person and continue on my walk with my dogs. Another example I had was today I was coming down the stairs. I live on the top floor. So no, I was actually trying to return home. I was returning home with my dogs from like walking them, trying to go up the stairs, and one of my neighbors was coming down the stairs. She didn't stop. She didn't move out of the way. She just kept on coming towards me, and I was just like, So I had to like scoot out of the way to like a corner almost underneath the stairwell to get out of her way, and I'm just like, so I've noticed that a lot. Even though my town is now on shelter, we're in a shelter in place until April 30th. So, so even though we're in a shelter in place till April 30th, we still have essential businesses that are open, right? And there's like a whole list of which businesses are essential: grocery stores, banks, Car dealerships, didn't know they were essential, but okay. Obviously hospitals and emergency rooms. Veterinarians are open. It's a whole list. But I've noticed that, like I went on a drive the other day just to get out of the house, me and the dogs. And I was passing by like different parking lots of grocery stores, and I've noticed that people are out with like their entire families at the grocery store. Why? And there's this trail that runs through my entire town. People go walking on the trail, biking, things like that. So it's been really nice weather this weekend, and I noticed on Saturday so many people were out, like when I went on my drive on the trail, and they were all in like groups. I don't know what's going on. People have got to take it more seriously. Let's see. Terrell had a question. Hey, what does she know? I don't know why your notification. I've gotten that a lot. People don't get my notifications. YouTube is shady. Terrell says, was the 90s considered to be the best decade when it came to music? Music is so subjective. Personally, I love the 90s, but I'm a 2000s girl when it came to music, because that's kind of when I was like a teenager, was in the 2000s. I love 90s music. I always will. I was a kid in the 90s, like a small child, but the 2000s was when I was like a teen, middle school, high school. So when I was really starting to engage with music and build my own musical taste for myself personally, outside of like what family introduced me to and things like that. What does she know asks, what writing projects have you been working on lately? That's a great question. I'm currently working on 2 different projects. One project is from NaNoWriMo in November. I'm still working on that. The second project is something that I actually just started. And the only thing that I will tell y'all about, and that is that this new project was inspired by, you guys are gonna die, is inspired, should say is. This new project is inspired by the lifestyles of fundamentalist Mormons who live a polygamous lifestyle. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. But that was my inspiration. Ash the Rebel says, Deborah Cox was in the 90s. Yes, she was. I freaking loved her music. 90s R&B is where it's at. I don't think we can get any better than 90s R&B. I feel like the 2000s was really good for like pop music, and then getting more into that like rock alternative sound, although that was also really good in the 90s. It was like rock and alternative. But R&B is what really stands out to me from the 90s. The 2000s, what really stands out to me is pop music. Yeah. Oh, Jolene, you changed your name? Okay, nice. I'm liking it. I like it a lot. I like your avatar too. All right, I've been on here. I think I'm going to try to get off in an hour. An hour seems like a good amount of time. Not in an hour from now, but at the hour mark. Do y'all have any questions, or anybody want to bring up any topics or anything while we are all here? It's nice to have this outlet to chat with y'all. And I'll try to get some videos up for y'all to watch this week for sure. Bye, Jerry. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Terrell says, I was quite bummed that many TV shows are ending their seasons early due to coronavirus, and some are about to come to an end, won't get their proper series finale. What's going to happen now? I know. It's really unfortunate when you find a show and you love it, and something like this happens, and then it's like the show doesn't get an ending, Seasons ending early isn't quite as bad as long as the show is renewed for another season. So it's kind of like, sucks for this season, but at least there's another season that you can look forward to. But those shows that are actually coming to an end, if they're coming to an end during this time, then that really sucks, because they're not going to be able to give it justice and finish properly. So it's interesting, because I'm not like a huge TV watcher. I have my shows that I love, and I was a much bigger TV watcher probably the last decade, the earlier half of the last decade. Now I just have like my shows that I enjoy and I kind of stick to those shows. I don't really watch a lot of new shows. The one new show that I have started watching recently is Teen Wolf. Also, I'm waiting for the second season of Siempre Bruja, Always a Witch. Waiting on tenterhooks. That's a Netflix show. Yeah, I can't really think of any other TV shows that I'm like loving right now. I just don't simply watch that much TV. I watch mostly like older shows, like my favorite shows that have already come and gone, like Girlfriends, Sex in the City, One Tree Hill, Roswell, the original Roswell, not this new crap that they have come up with. I really want to rewatch Gossip Girl. I just don't know if I'll feel the same way about it since I'm so much older now. I feel like I may have outgrown it. And then, you know, the classic shows that we all love, like our sitcoms, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Cosby Show. But yeah, I love like my older shows. So let's see. Z Loves Books asks, what is everyone reading? This is an excellent question. I stumbled upon these books, and they're what I'm currently reading now. I'm past my bully romance obsession and craze of last week. But these books are retellings of fairy tales. Y'all know I am obsessed with my fairy tale retellings. So, hold on. Let me pull up the book because I don't want to get it wrong. Let's see here. Manage content and devices. It's always tricky to do it on iPhone. Here we go. Okay, so all of these books are by an author called Lucy Tempest. And from what I've seen, she doesn't have that many reviews on Amazon. I haven't checked her Goodreads yet. But I feel like people are not really aware of these books. Okay, why won't you open it? But essentially there's 6 books so far. The first 3 are following one female protagonist in the first 3 books, and you will die. It's a retelling of Aladdin. Yes, but it's a gender swap. So the character of Aladdin is a girl, which is our main character. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the retelling, like the thief, basically. And instead of a princess, it's a prince. And it's turned into this like bride search contest thing. And I don't know if y'all know this about me, but that's one of my favorite tropes, is like kind of like that Bachelor-esque trope of like all of these women come together to compete to be the next queen, or, you know, for the hand of the prince or whatever. I love tropes like that. Don't ask me why. It's probably because I love watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, but I'm obsessed with those type of tropes. And that is why I loved Kira Cass's, what was the name of that series that Kira Cass had that everyone was obsessed with for a while? That's escaping me right now. I don't know why I can't remember the name of the series. This is going to bug me. But that's why I was obsessed with that series as much as I was. But yeah, so the Selection series. There we go. That was going to bug me. So yeah, so Thief of Karaman. That's the first book. And I'm in it. I'm watching. Wow. I'm reading it right now. And again, it's by Lucy Tempest. And I'm going to pull it up so you can at least see what it looks like. It has one of those super girly covers where it's like a girl with a beautiful dress on the cover, which I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but it is what it is. I'm trying to pull it up so I can show y'all the cover. My phone is on 9%, so here we go. Thief of Karaman. So that's the first book. And then there's a bunch of other books. The next 2 books are following that same protagonist, finishing out that Aladdin retelling. So we have Prince of Karaman, book 2, Queen of Karaman. And then the next book in the series, book 4, goes into the retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And that is my favorite fairy tale. So I cannot wait to get to that book 4 to retell Beauty and the Beast. And then that happens for 2 books. And then book 6 starts the retelling of Cinderella. So I will let y'all know how I feel. doesn't have a lot of reviews, but most of the people have reviewed it on Amazon, have given it high ratings. So we'll see. Kashan asks, are you doing Camp NaNoWriMo in April? Not officially, but since I am going to be sheltering in place all of April, unofficially I'll be doing Camp NaNoWriMo, but I'm not going to be engaging on the site or building a cabin or anything of that sort. Let's see. Shauna says, I just finished reading A Midwife's Tale, The Diary of Martha Ballard by Laurel Tatcher Ulrich. Ulrich. It took a while to get into, but really liked it. Was it a memoir or a nonfiction, or was it fiction? It sounds like a nonfiction. Okay, Jolene asks, how is your quest to get published, and are you going to record it for us? You know, it's so interesting that you mentioned that, Jolene, because I literally had that thought this morning that I want to make secret vlogs, although I guess they won't be so secret anymore since I'm telling y'all, but just secret vlogs recording my publication quest and process. And I am still, like, I go back and forth a lot between traditional and independent self-publishing, especially because self-publishing has worked out so well for so many authors, especially if you plan on writing romance and like new adult or adult romance, or even Black love stories now are making a comeback. So self-publishing works out really well for these authors. But I'm still gonna go with traditional publishing, and I definitely will record it for y'all. Let's see. Terrell says, for me, 1996 to 97 were the years music changed dramatically, from the deaths of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls to the rise of the Spice Girls. I came and never looked back. Jolene asks, I just finished reading Passing. Passing's been on my list forever. Every time I look at it on my shelf, I'm like, I really need to read this. By Nella Larson. It is such a great book, written in the 1920s about two biracial women in Harlem. One lives her life as a Black woman and the other as a white woman. I know. Ash says, I just finished Caraval. How was that? By Stephanie Butler. Now I'm going to be reading To All the Boys. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. To All the Boys I Loved Before is literally one of my all-time favorite young adult series ever. So let me know how you feel. We'll need to chat about this. Seriously, let me know. Zilo's book says, I've been wanting to read Passing for a while. Right? We should do a buddy read, maybe. Let me know if that sounds like something you'd want to do with me. Let's see. Caraval. Oh, yeah, I just saw that movie on Netflix. Wait, it's a movie? Terrell, I'm going to go now. Bye, Terrell. Thanks so much for stopping by, and thank you so much for your kind words and your engagement. I hope that you have a great week as well. Stay strong and stay positive, and if you need anything, my email address is down below. You can always DM me on Instagram. This goes for everyone. I'm here if y'all need me, always. All right. All right, so if there aren't any more questions, I think I'm going to start wrapping things up. Anything else we have to chat about? Let's see. Jillian says, I go back and forth on traditional and self-publishing. I pulled out a trunk novel, something I wrote years ago. I know. It's one of those things where I think because I haven't fully committed to one or the other, I can't start the process of pursuing one or the other, you know? Trunk novel, I feel you. I pull out certain trunk novels as well, and I'm just like, work on them a little bit, shelve them back again. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm thinking that Passing is going to be a movie directed by Rebecca Hall. Really? You know, it's so interesting because there's another movie about this same subject matter. It's an older film, and it's been remade a few times, about a biracial woman who passed as white until she married I believe she either married a white man or got into a relationship with a white man, and then things ended tragically once her true identity was discovered. But let me know if y'all have ever seen that film. It was like an older movie, and they've remade it a few times, I think. And I can never remember the name of it. So there's also that. All right, it is almost 8:20. I think I am going to get going so I can eat some dinner. But this was good. I think I might have another one of these next week, just so we can all kind of stay in touch and touch base with one another at the end of each week, as long as this, quarantine situation, social distancing, as long as the virus continues to unfortunately thrive. I think that the imitation of life, Z loves books. Thanks, girl. Yes, that is exactly it. But as long as, this situation continues, I think touching base with these social distancing live streams, that is the movie I'm referring to, is a good idea. And then don't forget, Quarantine Pages starts tomorrow, okay? So the host for tomorrow, let me pull it up. Again, definitely go check out my Instagram for all the details. Let me see. Tomorrow's host is Njiri. So she's doing tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 1 hour. And all the links for the Zoom page, like the Zoom pages, are all going to be, again, on my Instagram. So I will post a video tomorrow morning announcing it formally and just kind of have it on my page. So definitely go check out my Instagram. I believe my Bookstagram also has all the information, which is linked below always. Shauna says California just extended their shelter in place until April 30th. Yep, I feel you. I'm here till April 30th as well. So, but yes, I think I will end this live stream here. Thank you so much for everyone who's come out and hung out with me and chatted. I think Sunday nights would be good. I might move it to the daytime though. It depends. Let's see. For next week, I want to join Brittany on her Quarantine Pages silent reading hour. And she is on Sunday, and I believe she is doing hers at, let's see. She's doing hers at 4 p.m. Good. So we are all in the clear to do an evening live. So yeah, let's see how this week goes. I wish you all lots of peace and joy, as much as you can get, less anxiety, and just a good week, with everything going on, a good week. And we'll catch up next week. Same time, same place. I love you all. Take care. Mwah. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.